Airlines are at it again, new rules, changes to baggage policies, and even restrictions on electronic devices are rolling out. And if you're not paying close attention, you might be in for a big surprise. From carry-on bans to sneaky tweaks in the boarding process, these updates could seriously affect your next flight. But don't worry, I've got you covered. Let's break down what's new, what's changing, and a few travel hacks to help you stay one step ahead. Trust me, the last tip might just save you from a chaotic night at the airport. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a travel update. The problem with power banks, new restrictions. Let's start with something nearly every traveler carries, a power bank. These little lifesavers keep our phones charged during long flights, but now they're under airline scrutiny. Korean Air and Asiana Airlines have introduced a new rule. Power banks must go in your personal item only. Forget about stashing them in the overhead bin. And that's not all. EVA Air has taken a step further. They've completely banned the use and charging of power banks during the entire flight. I get it, it's all about safety. There's concern about overheating and potential fires, which no one wants mid-air. Remember the whole mess with the Samsung Note 7? But banning them entirely? That feels a bit extreme. So here's the takeaway. Don't pack your power bank in your carry-on bag. Keep it in your personal item. And if you need to charge your phone, use the seat outlets instead. WestJet's new rule that might actually help you. In an unexpected twist, WestJet is making a change that could actually help travelers. Starting on May 6th, the airline will align its carry-on size limits with the standard used by most airlines. 56 by 36 by 22 centimeters. Yes, that includes the handles and wheels. That means you won't have to stress about your suitcase fitting into one of those dreaded sizing bins at the gate. I know keeping up with every airline's rules can be a real headache, but if you want to stay ahead of the game, turn on those notifications. American Airlines' new boarding process. Better or worse? American Airlines has decided to shake up the way passengers board. Beginning May 1st, they'll be adding 5 extra minutes to the boarding process. Sounds small, right? But it's actually meant to reduce aisle congestion, help ensure there's room in the overhead bins, and cut down on the number of bags that need to be checked at the gate. In theory, it sounds great. Less chaos, fewer last-minute bag checks, and less of a rush. But will it really work? Or will it just make boarding feel even longer? Let me know what you think in the comments. The secret third bag, trick airlines don't want you to know. Now, let's talk about one of my favorite travel hacks, the third bag trick. Most airlines officially allow just one carry-on and one personal item. But what if I told you there's a way to bring a third bag without getting into trouble? Here's the trick. TSA doesn't limit how many bags you bring through security. That's up to the airlines. So what I do is carry a small crossbody bag for my phone, passport, and wallet. Then, right before boarding, I slip it into my backpack, my personal item. Boom! I'm now walking on with carry-on suitcase, a backpack, and an extra bag without breaking a single rule. This little trick has saved me more than once, giving me extra space for my essentials. Just make sure to tuck it away before boarding. The hidden risk of crossbody bags. Speaking of crossbody bags, while they're incredibly useful, there's something most people don't know. Airlines don't allow you to wear them during takeoff and landing. And no, it's not just about trying to charge you extra. It's a real safety rule. In the event of an emergency evacuation, the strap from a crossbody bag can get caught on the seats, slowing you down. And when every second matters, that's the last thing you want. So, before takeoff, just pop your bag into your personal item and you're good to go. Talk to a pilot before your flight. If flying makes you nervous, there's a new service that can make a huge difference. It's called Dial a Pilot, and it lets you speak with a real pilot for 15 minutes. No simulators, no internet forums, just experienced, certified pilots ready to answer your questions about turbulence, safety, or how flights actually work. If you get anxious before takeoff, this could help more than you think. Sometimes, all it takes is a calm, expert voice to explain what's happening up there. Cancel for any reason insurance. Is it worth it? We've all heard of regular travel insurance. It usually kicks in for major things like medical emergencies or natural disasters. But have you heard about cancel for any reason insurance? Just like the name says, it lets you cancel your trip no matter the reason. Bad weather? Change of plans? Simply don't feel like traveling anymore? It's all covered. Now, it is more expensive than standard insurance. But if something unexpected comes up and you need to cancel at the last minute, it could save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars. How to make economy class more comfortable. Let's be honest, flying economy can be rough, especially on long flights. But there are some small gadgets that can really improve your experience. A tray table phone holder. This little gadget clips onto the tray and holds your phone so you can watch movies without straining your neck. A seat organizer pouch. Hang from the tray table to keep everything you need, glasses, snacks, charger, within easy reach. No more digging around in your backpack every 2 minutes. A portable gel cushion. Those airplane seats aren't exactly designed for comfort. With a gel cushion, you'll feel like you're riding in first class. Sometimes, it's the little things that make a big difference in how you feel on board. Skip the lines when your flight gets canceled. There's nothing worse than getting stuck at the airport because your flight was canceled. Suddenly, you're surrounded by hundreds of frustrated passengers all scrambling to rebook. But there are ways to stay out of the chaos. If you have access to a VIP lounge, use it. Often, the staff there can rebook flights faster and with more flexibility than the gate agents. And here's another trick. Use FlightAware.com. This website tracks flights in real time and often shows delays and cancellations before the airline makes an official announcement. Knowing early can give you a huge head start. New carry-on restrictions you need to know. Airlines are tightening up their carry-on rules, and some are now enforcing much stricter weight limits. Take AirAsia, for example. They've started weighing carry-on bags right at the gate. Their new limit? 7 kilograms. And yes, that includes everything, your backpack, personal item, even that heavy winter coat. So how can you avoid a last-minute baggage fee? Here's a smart tip. Use your jacket pockets. Most airlines don't count what you carry in your pockets. So if you're cutting it close on weight, stash heavier items like your phone, charger, or even a book in your coat before you get to the gate. Sneaky fees on budget airlines. If you've flown with a budget airline lately, you might have been hit with some unexpected charges. More and more carriers are charging for things that used to be free. For instance, Ryanair now charges passengers who print their boarding pass at the airport, and the fee? Up to $70 for a single sheet of paper. Other airlines have started charging for things like mandatory seat selection, access to the general boarding line, and even use of the overhead bin for your carry-on. Moral of the story, read the fine print before you book your ticket, and always use the airline's app. It can help you avoid hidden fees. New security measures that could slow you down. If you travel often, you're probably familiar with airport security. But lately, it's been taking longer in some places. Why? Electronic device checks. Some airports now ask you to take out not just laptops, but tablets, cameras, and even portable chargers from your carry-on. Stricter liquid rules. Even if your liquids are under 100 milliliters, some airports are being extra picky. They might require you to place them in a TSA-approved clear bag. More random checks. Authorities are increasing the number of random security checks, which means more passengers are getting pulled aside for extra screening. Want to breeze through security? Here's how. Wear clothes without metal. Keep your liquids in a clear plastic bag and pull out your electronics before they ask. The airline sneaky trick to sell you pricier tickets. Here's something a lot of people don't realize. When you search for flights online, the prices you see may not be the real prices. Why? Because airlines use cookies and tracking tools to monitor your searches. And every time you check the same flight again, they might show you a higher price. But you can beat this trick. Clear your browser cookies before searching for flights. Use incognito mode to stop websites from tracking your history. Check prices on different devices or networks. Sometimes, searching from a phone or a different Wi-Fi connection will show you a better deal. The safest seat on the plane, according to science. Have you ever wondered where the safest seat on a plane really is? You might be surprised. A study by the Federal Aviation Administration in the United States looked at airline accidents over the past 40 years and found that the seats with the highest survival rate are the middle seats in the very back of the plane. Why? In most accidents, the front of the plane takes the biggest impact. Of course, every situation is different, but if safety is your top concern, the last row might be your best bet. How to sleep better on long flights. Getting good sleep on a plane isn't always easy, but there are a few tricks that can make it much more doable. Use earplugs or noise-canceling headphones to block out engine noise and chatty passengers. Wear an eye mask. Even a little light in the cabin can keep you from falling asleep quickly. Avoid caffeine and alcohol before your flight. They might make you feel relaxed at first, but they can mess with your sleep cycle. Recline your seat as much as you can. Just do it gently and be mindful of the person behind you. Bring a travel pillow with neck support so you don't wake up with a sore neck. Try these out, and you might just land feeling refreshed instead of exhausted. How to score a free upgrade to first class. Let's be honest. We'd all love to fly in first class, but the price tag? Ouch! Luckily, there are a few strategies that could get you upgraded without spending a dime. Dress nicely. Airlines are more likely to upgrade passengers who look polished and professional if there are open seats. Arrive early and politely ask at the counter if upgrades are available. If the flight isn't full, you might get lucky. Join the airline's frequent flyer program. Even if you don't fly often, just being a member gives you more upgrade chances. Travel solo. It's much easier to upgrade one person than a group. Be ready for changes. Airline policies are constantly changing, and the worst thing you can do is travel without being prepared. So let's do a quick recap. Some airlines are now weighing carry-on bags. Use your jacket pockets for heavy items. Hidden fees are on the rise. Always read the fine print before booking. Security lines may take longer. Arrive early, be organized, and dress smart. Airlines might be manipulating ticket prices online. Clear your cookies and use incognito mode. Want the safest seat? Head for the back of the plane. Struggling to sleep in the air? Bring the right gear and skip the coffee. Looking for a first-class seat on an economy ticket? Strategy is key. Which rule surprised you most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more easy, stress-free travel tips, check out my other videos. See you next time and happy travels!